calling the Bristol Fusion Net, This is N4NT. My name is Adam, and I will be the net control station for this session. The Bristol Fusion Net meets each Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. or at the conclusion of our FM net on the 146.67 repeater locally and wires X room 61243. And we also once again welcome locally the 443 repeater on White Top Mountain. This net is affiliated with the Bristol Amateur Radio Club of Bristol, Tennessee, and Virginia. All amateurs are welcome to check in. We welcome each one from around the United States and around the world that are connected with us tonight. At this time, do we have any announcements or bulletins for the net? Please call. Okay. I have a couple quick announcements. First of all, for those that haven't heard, we did have one of our longtime members of the Bristol Amateur Radio Club pass away this week, Tony Stitt, and in order to give time to get the word out for attendance and what have you, on our analog net as well as our fusion net next week, we will have a last call for Tony. Tony is former club president and been around the club many years. And in fact, our Ham of the Year award is dedicated in honor of his father, who was a longtime club member. Also, for those locally and, well, anyone way outside the region that would just like to travel up here for this, you're more than welcome as well. But we will have our annual Christmas dinner this Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. at Food City on Euclid Avenue in Bristol, Virginia. This is the same night of Tony's funeral, but after speaking to many members, the consensus is that folks would like to run by the funeral home and then make it to the club meeting. A lot of folks would, so we are going to press on, and the consensus also was that they felt that Tony would want us to carry on and would want it that way. All right, with that being said, at this time, we will begin taking regular check-ins. Again, this is, if you're new to the net, it's a check-in and comment format. So if you do not wish to make comments, just state that you are in and out, and we will put you on the list. And you do have the option, of course, to make comments later if you change your mind. At this time, we'll begin taking check-ins. If you would give your call sign, name, and location.
Good evening, Adam. Please check in and out. Alpha Echo 4, Bravo Tango, with third-party traffic in the background. She's unhappy, just now came in from outside. Time for a treat. Please check me in and out tonight, Adam. AE4VT, Curtis and Johnson City.
Whiskey Delta 9, Delta Alpha November, Carmel, Indiana. No comment. In and out.
Net control, check in AB8RL, Alpha Bravo 8 Radio Lima, Tom in Scott Depot, West Virginia. Net control, please check in KD8A, Kilo Delta 8 Alpha, Tony, near Charleston, West Virginia.
Net control, please copy November Uniform 8 Lima Lima, NU8LL, Mobile, in Hurricane, West Virginia.
Net control, please check in W8XRW, Whiskey 8 X-Ray Romeo Whiskey, Rob, in South Charleston, West Virginia.
Net control, I may have doubled with somebody. Please check in Whiskey Delta 9, Delta Alpha November, Dan, Carmel, Indiana, in and out.
KC Chris, near Atlanta. Whiskey Mike X-Ray, KD4W Max, Washington County, Virginia, in and out. Net control, please check in KD4 CCO, Dallas, Bristol, Virginia.
Net control, check in WE4, AWJ, Trenton, Bristol.
Okay, let me run through the list I've got here, and something I'm going to start doing this week on NetLogger where it says no club info in the remarks. I'm going to start taking that out and updating my list, so that way in the future I can tell when folks are first-time check-ins. But I'm just starting that today, so if I mistakenly call you a first-time check-in, or if I forget to acknowledge, or if I don't acknowledge that, that's why. This is a new thing I'm doing. All right, we got Curtis in Johnson City, AE4BT, got you checked in and out. Thanks for checking in, Curtis. And then WD9DAN, Dan in Carmel, Indiana. I believe you're a first-time check-in. Like I said, I'm just starting the method of keeping up with that. So thank you for joining us, and we're here every week, and you're welcome to come back and join us. Got you in and out. And then AV8RL, Tom in Scott Depot, West Virginia. Tom, I can't remember if you were in and out or if you were in, so I'll come back to you, and if you were in and out, just ignore me and I'll move on. KD8A, Tony in West Virginia, NU8LL, Mike in West Virginia, W8XRW, Rob in South Charleston, West Virginia, K1KC, my good friend Chris down there in Conyers, Georgia, KD4WMX. You doubled with somebody, but I got the last of your calling, and you said you were in and out, so got you on the list. Thanks, Kim, for checking in. KD4CCO, Dallas there in Bristol, Virginia, and WE4AWJ, Emmett in Bristol, Virginia. So let's run the list, and that'll give me a break from typing. Like I said, Tom, I can't remember. I was hit a button and might have made a mistake, but if you were not in and out, though, AV8RL, it is your turn.
Okay, N4NT and everyone on the net this evening. Everybody sounding great. Sounds like you got a fantastic turnout for the net here this evening. Just wanted at this time to say thank you for all that checked into our net last Thursday on Thanksgiving night there. We'll resume again this Thursday at 9 p.m. in the West Virginia Link room 46488. So appreciate your participation. It really helps us out. But anyways, great job on the net. Glad to check in as always, and have a great week. N4NT from AV8RL in Scott Depot, West Virginia.
Okay, Tom, thanks for checking in, and yeah, I have saved your all's room to the favorites on the Wires X node for this repeater, and we'll do our best to join you. Of course, we are having our club meeting, club Christmas dinner this Thursday, but if we get out in time, we'll connect up with you there. I always try to have some kind of content on this repeater, Wires X wise, in the evenings whenever possible. So those of you listening locally, I'll post that on Facebook also, but I try to connect up with different things. And one of the regulars that I've been connecting up with on Wednesday nights is the Yard Dogs Net at 9 o'clock. So while I'm thinking about it, I'll just throw that out there if you want to join in with us over here. And those of you with the Mirrors group, after your net concludes, it usually runs about an hour, so you'd have an opportunity to check into both. All right, up next we have KD8A, Tony in Charleston, West Virginia. Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, Adam and the net. A time leap for the remainder of the holiday season here, and
Tell me, part of that that cut out just caught where you said remainder of the holiday season, and that was about it. And it seemed like whenever you cut out, your it would pop up on the screen as FT991, but whenever we could hear you, your call sign would pop up. So not sure if you want to try it again there.
Well, thanks, Adam. Whenever I let up on the key on the mic, I heard our repeater ID and was switched over to FM. So I don't know if maybe we had a FM signal that was a little stronger than my transmission come through or something. I just wanted to wish everybody a safe and happy season leading up to the next holiday season, leading into Christmas there, and just hopefully the weather cooperates and everything goes great. And that's about all I've got. So I'll send it back to Net Control. KD8A, back to Net.
Okay, Tony. Yeah, we got you good that time. And they're solid. So appreciate you checking in with us tonight. All right, up next we have NU8LL, Mike in West Virginia. Good evening, Mike.
Hey, Brandon. This is NU8LL. I was mobile, and now I'm stationary. Just got to the house, waiting my turn. Good evening, everybody. Happy holidays, all that stuff. And sorry to hear about the club loss. Hope you all enjoy your Christmas dinner. We plan on having one here shortly as well. So, good evening. This is NU8.
Okay, Mike, thanks for joining us again tonight. Good to have you, and appreciate the comments there. And while I'm thinking about it as well, given the nature of this net and how it expands well beyond our region, and even with some regular check-ins from different areas, in any event that you and your group have a death in your amateur radio family, and you would like to have a last call featured for that person on this net, you're more than welcome to do so. You can either email me the information and I'll take care of it, or if you would like to handle that portion personally, you're more than welcome to. We want to include everybody that checks in with us on a regular basis, and just putting that information out there. All right, up next we have W8XRW, Rob in South Charleston. Good evening, Rob.
N4NT in the group. Adam, I just wanted to say thank you guys for connecting on Thanksgiving. If you're not able to connect to the repeater this week because you're meeting, no problem at all. So I'm glad Tom mentioned it, and I hope in the future we can continue to connect to each other's nets. This is one of the most amazing things to me about Wireless X and the ability to reach out to other amateurs and doing these nets. So hopefully by connecting to each other's nets and continuing to foster the communication, it's going to help not only System Fusion grow, but amateur radio in general. So Adam, appreciate what you're doing. This is W8XRW, back to Net Control.
Okay, Rob, thanks for checking in and appreciate the comments. Yeah, that's when I became president of the club here in Bristol last year. One of my goals was to kind of promote some camaraderie between our club and some of our neighboring clubs. And then as we got into this Wireless X and Fusion thing, figured out, hey, we can expand that on a much bigger level. So yeah, we're definitely glad to be a part of your all's net, and we're glad that you're a part of ours. And speaking of that, we're also glad that the Yard Dogs group is some of those folks are joining us, and we're certainly glad to join you all as well. Up next we have K1KC. Good evening, Chris.
Well, hello, Adam, and the Bristol Amateur Radio Club. Start off the day trying to get a handle on all these different nodes, their names, what their node numbers are, and all that. I had submitted something to the AC back on November the 8th, and I didn't get any reply. I think yesterday I sent them a what's going on letter, and they gave me an answer today. Plus they changed another one, but somehow it didn't work out like it was supposed to, so it wiped out one node and it created another one. So I had to put in for another one. So it's a real trip trying to keep up with what's going on. Anyway, I left the house today, probably about 6 miles away, and one of my neighbors called on the radio and said there was an earthquake over here. Well, he lives down the road from me about a mile, and the fact is there is a fault zone over here. So I can't find anything about it on the news or anything. But I believe that they really did feel it because it's a known fault zone. And I don't know, 25 years ago or so, we had a whole summer where we had tremors. But I wasn't here, so I didn't feel anything. Don't know anything about it. All right. Well, I guess that's about it. Get the enjoyment of putting in a whole new heat pump on Thursday. Can't wait to fork over all the money. Talk to you later, K1KC.
Okay, Chris, thanks for checking in, and I can sympathize with you. Last year I had the compressor go out on my heat pump, and might as well bought a whole one for what that thing cost. But yeah, luckily I had a local guy that I've used before, and he came out and put a new one in, and go to write him a check, and he said, "Oh, you got 30 days to pay for it." And I was like, "Well, that's very trusting of you." I mean, I'm sure he saw my work car parked in the driveway, but nonetheless, that was that was a very trusting move. And of course, we paid him in full and all that. And knock on wood, it's still working to this day. So definitely sympathize with that expense, though. All right, up next, KD4WMX was in and out, so we have KD4CCO, Dallas and Bristol, Virginia. Good evening, Dallas.
Good evening, Adam, and everybody on the net. One thing I should bring up is, Adam, when you every time you transmit, there's a roar. It's hard to describe exactly what it is. When you first start talking, it usually precedes anything you say, so we don't miss anything. But it was on our last week too when we had the net, and it could be happening to me as well because I'm bringing up the 6.7 machine locally here. So I don't know if you hear it on your end or not, but everything else is fine. The net's working really good, and we've got a lot of check-ins, and that's what we're after. I was hoping that maybe some of the Woodfield boys might check in tonight, link up tonight, but so far I haven't heard any of them. Of course, they may not even knew about it because I sent out the message fairly late today, email, tell everybody that I knew about what I was going to do tonight. So, the turnout is really, really great. I appreciate you doing the net. And with that, we'll say 73s back to net control. This is KD4CCO.
Okay, Dallas. Yeah, I usually I'll kind of long pause before I start speaking when I key up on this Wires X just to give everything time to kick in. I was actually turning up my other radio and didn't hear the noise through it, so I'm not sure what that might be. It may be off of the repeater. I didn't hear it when you were on there though, but I appreciate you letting me know about that. I'll try to get that figured out. And thank you for sending out the emails and advertisements for the net. That's something I usually try to do every week and post it on every Facebook group and everything I can think of. And I didn't. I had a busy day today and didn't get around to it. I don't like doing that too many days ahead of time because people will forget about it as quick as they learn about it. So I try to do it the day of, and just wasn't in the cards today the way work was. All right, up next we have WE4AWJ, Emmett in Bristol, Virginia. Good evening, Emmett.
Well, good evening, Adam, and everybody on the net, and everybody listening in. This is WE4AWJ. Yeah, well, it's been an interesting day, cold and snowy and windy and wet. And, I saw a circle around the moon. That means more snow. So we'll see what's coming. And besides going to the dentist and having fun up there, we've been out finishing up Christmas shopping. We're completely decorated, have been for the last month, and that's pretty much it here. Looking forward to the dinner Thursday. And also one other thing, another member of our club, Lonnie Ward, has been in the hospital. He's been in the hospital for several days too, and he's in pretty bad shape, so everybody should remember him. And we gave him your best. So that's pretty much it here. So we'll say 73 to everybody and turn it back to net control. This is WE4AWJ.
Okay, Emmett, thanks for checking in. Appreciate the information. Yeah, thank you for reminding us about Lonnie being in the hospital there. And also, I had heard today, and with the hustle and bustle I've been through today and getting in here at the last minute, I kind of forgot to mention on the other net, but I'd heard that Jim Jarvis, WD4JJ, was actually out there at the hospital too with pneumonia. Heard that from a relative of his who's a friend of mine that I spoke to today. So I did notice he didn't check into the net the last couple of weeks. So anyway, let's definitely we'll add that to the prayer list there for sure. All right, that brings us to the bottom of the check-in list. This is N4NT with the Bristol Fusion Net. We'll now take check-ins from any station. Any station like to check in, please call now.
N4NT, N4XRD, Ralph and Chilhowie.
Carolina, good evening.
Okay, got a couple here. I had a double, but I got I think I got both of them. N4XRD, Ralph in Chilhowie, Virginia, got you checked in. Thanks for joining us again tonight. And then I think this is a new check-in, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going by memory now, but from this point forward, I'll have it documented. KM4BMD in North Carolina. Are there any other stations that would like to check in? Okay, well, we'll go back for some comments. Maybe some folks are warming the tubes up in those fusion radios. Give them an opportunity to do that. N4XRD, Ralph, good evening, Ralph.
N4NT and the net, N4XRD. Well, it's great to hear an active net going on our little radios here. Had a real interesting day. I've been upgrading 6 PCs from Win 7 to Windows 10 in anticipation of the support ending for Windows 7 in January. It's hard to imagine that Windows 10 has been out for 5 years. So I've been defragging, decrapping, backing up, making system images, really been keeping me busy. Got half the computers done so far. It's been going well, and it's still free. So anybody that needs to do that to their computers, don't be inhibited whatsoever. And for XRD, back to you, Adam.
Well, Ralph, you're certainly a better man than I am if you are able to get those upgrades made and have the patience to do so. I've usually run into some kind of snafu or something when I'm trying to do that kind of thing, and end up having to come to folks to help me with it. I don't know why, but seems like I can run all these programs and everything else, but when it comes to that, I just have the worst time. All right, appreciate you checking in. Hope you have a good evening. Up next, we have KM4 BMD, Derek in North Carolina. Good evening, Derek.
Good evening, and everyone on the net. KM4BMD here. Just checking in you tonight, and enjoyed hearing all the comments on Fusion here. It's kind of new to me, but I'm enjoying it. And heard the other gentleman say that he had some HVAC work done. That's what I do for a living. I'm an HVAC service technician, so I've been out repairing furnaces today and had a busy day. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you and enjoy checking in with you and hope to do it again soon. KM4BMD, back to net control.
Okay, Derek, thanks for checking in. And yeah, we're here every week, every Tuesday night. We typically start at 9:30. If our FM net runs a little long, we wait on them to finish, and I usually will post that on the Wires X message screen. But anyway, you're welcome to come back and join us anytime. We run a net logger session for the net, and we also broadcast the net on Facebook Live on the Bristol Amateur Radio Club Facebook page. Appreciate you checking in with us. All right, are there any other stations that would like to check in? Please call now. Okay, before we put out a last call there, just a couple quick reminders. We'll be back here next week around 9:30, and we will have a last call tribute to one of our local members here in Bristol that passed away. So if you can join us for that, we'd certainly appreciate it. Well, that'll take place during the preamble portion of the net, and then we'll carry on with our normal check-ins and comments. And of course, comments for those that know Tony are certainly welcome. About Tony are certainly welcome. And before we close the net tonight, is there any other stations that would like to check in? Okay, hearing none, is there anyone that's on the list currently that has anything else for the net? Okay, we had 7 nodes connected tonight and 6 different states represented. I want to say Indiana's a new state. I don't keep track of that other than in my mind, but I want to say Indiana's new for us tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I know at least the gentleman checking in from there was first time check-in, so we want to thank everybody that checked in, our regulars tonight as well as first time check-in. This is N4NT, closing the Bristol Fusion Net at 9:59 p.m. and returning the W4UD repeater and all connected systems back to normal amateur use. 7-3 and good night.